If there's one video game that you can say is the most important golf video game ever made, well, okay, it's Nintendo's Golf. But if there's a game that you could say is the second most important golf video game ever made, then it's Jack Nicklaus's greatest 18 holes of major championship golf. A game title so unwieldy that it's believed to be the longest game title ever at the time of its original release, and it's often just chopped down to Jack Nicklaus Championship Golf, since those were the only words in Japanese on the box. The Japanese Hue card release for the PC Engine is entirely in English, and as far as I can tell, it's identical to the US version, Jack Nicklaus Turbo Golf, except for the title screen. For those who aren't familiar with golf as a sport, Jack Nicklaus has a very good case for being the greatest player ever. In 1989, his professional career was winding down, but that was okay since he had another job. Arguably the world's greatest golf course designer. Now you might think, well, of course he was a great golf course designer. He was a great golfer. Well, just think about that for a couple of seconds. Being really good at playing video games doesn't mean you're really good at making them. Which partially gets into why Jack Nicklaus' greatest 18 holes of major championship golf is the second most important golf game of all time. It was the start of a major franchise of games that gained a following for their course design tools. From the late 80s to the late 90s, Accolade's Jack Nicklaus series were the definitive golf games. Well, for the computer versions at least. The console versions, well, you'll see. Unfortunately, we're not going to get any of the course design tools on the PC Engine, so you'll just have to be happy with one course designed from pieces selected by Jack Nicklaus. That's the big gimmick of this game. They went to Nicklaus and said, okay, if you were going to design a golf course, but all of the holes came from other golf courses, what would you make? So it's not just Nicklaus's favorite 18 holes. He's made selections that essentially make his dream course. Now I suppose I should address the elephant in the room here. If you're watching this video and not just listening to it or having it play on a second monitor, then you've probably noticed that something really looks off here. I don't talk about game visuals a lot because, well, you can see them. You don't need me to tell you if a game looks good or bad. But Jack Nicklaus' greatest 18 holes of major championship golf looks really bad on the PC Engine. How did this happen? Well, my initial theory was that this was a direct port of the original Commodore 64 version. The color palette, resolution, and fonts all seem to line up pretty tightly there. But while I was preparing the script for this video, Luska user HexiHertzGameArt traced the source of the PC Engine version to the DOS version of the game. It's not a perfect one-to-one match, but it's really close. You can see a lot of the same drawing routines, because the way it draws in the screen is so slow, and the way that the two versions dither objects looks very similar. Now, the actual course is completely different. The PC Engine version only has one course, made up of holes that Nicklaus selected. That course is available on the DOS version, but they also had expansion discs with a huge variety of courses. It seems like there just wasn't enough storage space on a Hue card for additional courses with Jack Nicklaus' greatest 18 holes of major championship golf. Which would be why they made a CD version that has all of the expansion courses, but not the patchwork course that the game is titled after. I thought about rolling the CD version into this video, but I wound up deciding that there are just enough differences to make it worth getting its own video. Assuming I stay on schedule, I'll get to that one at Christmas. The important takeaway from the PC Engine version being a nearly exact copy of the IBM PC version was that in terms of graphics and sound performance, at this point, the PC was a lot worse than the PC Engine. We're a couple years away from the VGA and sound card revolution. The limitations of the PC have been copied to the PC Engine, so only 16 colors and not the strongest palette choice. The audio only uses one channel, so there's no music, and the sound effects are really harsh. So regardless of anything else, the presentation in this PC Engine version is pretty bad. But how's the rest of the game? Well, you get your choice of playing Strokes or Skins, Strokes being a round of 18 holes with the lowest score as the winner, and Skins is where each hole has its own winner. You can play up to 4 players, and you can mix in as many computer opponents as you want. You get your choice of 3 tees, the pro, men's, and ladies' tees. You also get your choice of a male or female player. When you start a hole, Jack Nicklaus will appear, giving you a short blurb on why he included this particular one, and then you get a map of the hole's layout. You can bring this back up by pressing run while you're playing. And then when it's time to take your shot, the screen slowly draws in from left to right. The game uses some rather intense scaling routines for the graphics, things that you wouldn't expect a computer to do in real time, and even the PC Engine might struggle with it, but it fills in the view nicely. You can hit left and right to aim your shot, where your aiming is indicated at the top of the screen, and up and down will let you change clubs, though for the most part the game is pretty good about selecting the optimal club for a given shot. You can see the direction and strength of the wind in the lower left-hand corner. Swinging is very similar to other golf games. Press button 1 to start your backswing, hit it again to select your power, and hit it again at the bottom of the swing to drive the ball straight. There are a few more twists on this here. The lines on the bar indicate what percentage of power you're going. Every line is 10%. And once you go over 100%, you're in the red section at the top, and there you're getting extra power at the loss of control. Similarly, you want to hit button 1 again when the indicator is closest to the red at the bottom of the bar. The closer you are, the more likely the ball is to fly straight. These controls work pretty well. After the first hole, I had them down, and if it wasn't for a couple of bad holes, including that first one, I probably could have shot par. But something that you're going to notice is that it's very difficult to aim your shot properly. You just don't have any perspective in your view. And vital course features might be so scaled down that they're effectively invisible. If you're trying to aim just to the left of a water hazard, that water hazard might just be a black dot out there. The perspective problem with shot aiming is even worse on the green. Here, the wind is replaced with the break for the green, and you might have to aim your putt towards the hole. But lining it up is really non-obvious. The best approach that I found was to set it up so that the hole fell on the straight line formed between the ball graphic where your golfer is standing and the direction indicator at the top of the screen. That means you need to aim it a lot further offside than you might think. I played my round of golf this time with an AI opponent, and the AI tends to be extremely slow. It'll go to waiting and then sit there for a long time while it decides what to do. It's a length of time that'd be tolerable if your buddy was in the room and thinking about his shot, but not so much when it's supposed to be a computer. As for the course design, well, Jack Nicklaus knows his great holes. I can't say it's really a coherent course. The wide-open but rolling landscapes of St. Andrews don't fit in with the California landscape of Pebble Beach. But it feels like a good sampling of well-designed holes. As for how the game was received in Japan, well, we know it had to have some success because they made a CD version. But Jack Nicklaus' greatest 18 holes of major championship golf is all but forgotten in Japan at this point. Right now, you are watching the most popular video online about the PC Engine version. I'd include the TurboGrafx 16 version, but there is one video out there that has had similar number of views to what I usually get, so I might not quite be the number one overall. I only found one person with anything to say at all about the game, and they were enthusiastic about it, though I think it mainly came down to the course design. My own feeling here is there's better options on your PC Engine than this. This was a game designed with computers in mind first, and in context on those platforms, it's a lot better. The shortcomings are a lot more understandable. Here, it's unpleasant enough to be distracting. The game systems and the course work pretty well, but you have to put up with a lot to get to them.